More minutes. Oh, was the call not being recorded? Interesting. Um, okay. Well, now it is.
If anybody's watching the recording, you just missed some nice, light, casual vibes to start.
Yeah,
That was the best part.
There'll be more, so
you missed all the good stuff. Okay. Yeah, what's up, Paul? Yeah. What's up, Evan? What's up, Lana? Happy New Year, Lana. Okay, I think we'll just give it one more minute, then we'll start with some meditation led by Eve.
I feel like you're ready for some meditation, Nick. When I heard your name, I was just thinking about all your energy yesterday, bro. Did you make it through the storm yesterday?
Yeah, Nick and I were on the phone last night till 1 a.m. his time. We had a long day.
Awesome.
Hope we got some rest, Nick. We got some REM.
Yeah, Nick's doing some sign language or something.
He's probably out doing something.
I didn't realize you guys were talking to me and I couldn't find which. I have multiple screens set up. Yeah, guys, they're great conversations. So just I can quickly introduce myself. I'm Nick. I'm kind of new to the Greenpill community. I've met a bunch of you guys in different ways. I've spent the last 10 years doing disaster response in different ways. I'm kind of old school regen. I started the regen. I worked on Wall Street starting 19 years ago in the early days of ESG and sustainability analytics. I got really lucky. I worked for the #1 ESG firm in the world, Innovest, that got acquired by Risk Metrics, the more risk management firm, that then got acquired by MSCI. So all those sustainability green funds out there were powered by our data. And then I did my permaculture design courses and stuff 14 years ago. And now I do a disaster response and I'm out in the wild, helping out with the wildfires.
awesome. And then, I think for the agenda, we popped that disaster relief conversation towards the end, just so we don't have to like rush through that at all. And when we're in that, like, if people want to chat for all day, then, the floor is totally open. So, yeah.
Yep.
Appreciate you, Nick.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah, let's get started. And yeah, Eve's going to lead us through a meditation session to kind of get our minds in a good place. And yeah, then we'll get going.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. We also had a Greenpill NYC meetup last night. It's a great way to kick off the year. The energy is feeling really good. So I'm excited for 2025. And on that note, I invite you to close your eyes. Find yourself comfortable, seated wherever you are. And just breathe. Become aware of your breath moving in and out of your body. Feel yourself connected with the ground beneath you. And send your awareness down through the surface where you're sitting, so down through floors of the building where you are and into the earth beneath you. Feeling yourself rooted and connected to the earth. And through that connection with the earth, allowing yourself to let go, to release anything that came before this moment. Releasing your projects, your responsibilities, and releasing anything that's to come after this moment as well. Feeling the support of the earth in this invitation to be present in the here and now. To be present in your body, to be present in your heart, and to be present in this community. Simply being in silence and stillness, and noticing how you feel. And knowing that this place of silence and stillness is where inspiration reaches us, where it communicates with us. And as we stand at the top of a new year, feeling, as we all do, the energy and the momentum that we have moving into 2025, knowing that this place of stillness is always available and accessible to us, whether on our own or in community. Taking a few more rounds of breath together. And as you're ready, opening your eyes, returning to the group. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. That was awesome.
Intention in 2025.
Okay, cool. I think that sets the tone for a good call. All right, so yeah, let's get started and kick off 2025. I'm going to go through just a few core updates since the last time we met, and then we'll dive into some discussions. Cool. Let's share my screen. Cool, yeah. So the first thing I want to highlight is our 2024 newsletter. So we published a newsletter that tried to capture everything that happened in 2024, but to be quite honest, there's so much, it's hard to have everything in this one newsletter. But I think it's a good way, especially if you're new to the network, or if you just haven't just kind of getting back engaged, to kind of catch up and see what's happened in 2024. Okay, my screen's freezing. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so we got a lot of cool highlights to show. So yeah, just if you have some time, walk through this if you haven't already. Yeah, there's a lot of awesome stuff. I would want to start shouting out the specific things, but there's too much. So that if this would say just go check it out. But yeah, that's the first update. Next up, we're also going to be kicking off the new chapter onboarding this quarter. So we have a few chapters that are in the queue, a few potential chapter stewards, I should say, that are looking to go through this onboarding process this quarter. So if you know anybody who's interested in starting a chapter, I also think we have a few people on the call who also who are. Stay on the lookout for updates. We're gonna look to probably kick this off in a few weeks as we just get some more things settled around this process. But yeah, so and if you have any thoughts or feedback, still open to give any responses or replies to the proposal. Okay, cool. All right, next up, we also have a Greenpill community survey. So we just created this a few days ago. But basically, this is just a short survey. There's about 10 questions or so to, and a lot of the multiple questions. So, something very quick that you could get through. It's only gonna take you at minimum 5 minutes, at maximum 10 if you want to like give a lot of detail. But yeah, this is just to get a good gauge on people's thoughts, both 2024, but mostly for 2025, and how they could be more involved in the network, how the network could better provide better resources, etc. So yeah, and then next up we have we have a joke race going on for DevGuild brand kit competition. So currently the Dev Guild is looking to revamp its branding. And we view this competition as not only a way for the Dev Guild to get some new branding, but also potentially like other chapters and guilds that, want to have some new aesthetic. And yeah, ideally it's open to any artists or any designers that you know. So let them know it's open for a month. So yeah, there's details here and everything. But yeah, hope to see a lot of submissions and not only find the identity for like the next branding for the Dev Guild, but for a bunch of different chapters and guilds. Pause. Is there any questions on these before? I'm just trying to speed through things. I know we have a lot to go through, but any question on anything I said so far? Cool. All right. So next up is Octet Epoch 6 is currently active. And I think we have a few, Greenpill aligned or affiliated projects or, just people in the community. So if you have any GLM locked, you can allocate your rewards and support some of these great projects in the round. So we have Alpha by Atlantis, Bordos Developers. So there's a lot of great projects in this round. And we'll actually have a passport workshop we did for the last epoch that talks about, what you kind of the requirements needed for different ecosystems such as Octant. So we'll be looking to upload that during this epoch window so people could understand what they need to have for their passport side of things. Next up is a verb proposal for ETH Denver. So yesterday it was looking a lot better, but looks like somebody came in does not like the proposal. Maybe could change his mind. I'm just seeing this, so this is all fresh. But we have a proposal to partner with Verbs to do some designs and merch for ETH Denver, and also use that to then participate in different public good events that we're already planning at the Greenpill level. So yeah, there's 2 days left in this vote. If you know any Verb holders, we'd love the support. Looks like we're gonna need it. Yesterday I was like thinking we're all good, but so yeah, let's see. And maybe I'll reach out to Cool Beans and get some more depth into his thoughts. But that's it, I think, on my end, unless I'm missing anything before diving into some other talking points. Let's see. Yeah, okay, that's it on my end. And yeah, I want to actually pass it over to Kevin if you want to talk about the cookie jar that we been working on.
Yeah, sure, happy to. Do you mind if I take the screen share from you, Alpha?
Yeah, let me. I think I might have to do some settings real quick. Okay, you can. Yeah, cool. Sure.
Sounds good. Yeah. What's up, everyone? Great to see such a healthy attendance at the call. I think that when I wrote the Greenpill book or started the podcast back in the day, I couldn't have imagined that such a great community would form around it. And it's been 3 years now, which feels really incredible. So thank you all for showing up and for your care around the mission and for each other. I wanted to show off a new experiment that me and some developers around me are working on. It's basically a new capital allocation mechanism. If you've been following my work, I've been getting really into on-chain capital allocation. And what I'm showing you right now is a new on-chain capital allocation mechanism called Cookie Jar, which is basically at its core just a smart contract that's deployed on the Optimism mainnet that right now holds 0.03 ETH. And basically the way it works is that it's like a cookie jar. You can pull, if you're on the whitelist, you can pull 0.0069 ETH out every 30 days. And you just need to leave a note saying what you're going to use that money for. So basically we can go down here and look at the withdrawal history. And you can see that Panther, that's the anon name of a dev that I work with, and Panther withdrew some money in order to test out the cookie jar. And then you can also see that I went in and tested out the cookie jar function. Basically, the idea here is to allow anyone who's on the whitelist to withdraw a certain amount from the treasury and just leave a note saying what they used that money for. So the cookie jar is basically a mechanism through which, like, say you're hosting a Greenpill meetup. And as opposed to traditional governance, in which you have to write a whole long proposal and like have a bunch of comments back and forth about what you're doing, and then you get the money. With Cookie Jar, you just take the money. And if I, as the administrator, think that you're abusing the cookie jar, then I will remove you from the whitelist. So it's a little bit more of an optimistic form of governance where we're using crypto to fund what matters, in this case, to the Greenpill network. And what we're trying to do is create more of a culture around supporting each other and asking for forgiveness, not permission, with optimistic governance. So this is just sort of a test. I mean, it's not on a test net, it's on the Optimism mainnet, but it's kind of a test deployment at a very low amount. 0.0069 ETH is enough for, I mean, that's only $20. But if this goes well, if this experiment goes well, then I would love to increase the funding amount and the frequency that you can claim them, and also the number of addresses that are on the whitelist. So basically, this is just a test, and the social contract is basically just withdraw from the cookie jar Oops, I'm showing you the wrong one. I actually meant to show that's the Gitcoin cookie jar this whole time. I want to show off cookiejar.greenpill.network. And basically, if you filled out the form that we distributed before the holidays with your address in it, then you're on the whitelist for the Greenpill cookie jar, and would love to test out this mechanism for distributing capital to the chapter leads and to the guild leads. And if it goes well, then we'll deploy new cookie jars that have larger amounts that you can withdraw from them on a more frequent basis. So basically just trying to figure out ways that we can support chapters and guilds in a more institutional way, systematic way than we have before. So dipping our toes into bringing Greenpill Network on chain with the cookie jar. Curious if anyone has any questions about what I just demoed, and would encourage you all to open up that link that I put in the chat and check it out in another tab. Anything else you wanted to see about that?
Yes, maybe you can share where could we take a look at the codes and maybe hack into our own cookie jar.
Yeah, let me just drop the GitHub link in the chat. You can see the code on the Etherscan, but I'm assuming you're asking about the GitHub. Is that right?
Yes, yes. Sorry for not being specific.
Yeah, no worries. Let me just find it real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a great start to start getting chapters to have some funds that they could use for, like you said, events and different actions. If nobody has anything else to add, like maybe Kevin, I also know you made a post on the hub recently. I'll check maybe mention that a little bit, or
Yeah, happy to. Before Kevin, sorry for not congratulations, like saying good stuff before. I was just too interested thinking about how could I implement on Greenpill Brazil. But man, thanks for that. This is really an awesome primitive to explore.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. As you all know, I'm starting a new venture called Allo.Capital that's going to be deploying hopefully a lot more stuff that's weird and funky like Cookie Jar. So it's not just me, it's every developer who's in the Allo.Capital Telegram, but I will pass along your thanks to them. Someone else has their hand up. Let me see if I can find that. Or had their hand up. I'm not sure if anymore.
Yep, sorry, that was me. I was just trying to click thumbs up because I agree that's a cool initiative, cool project.
Cool. All right, so we can pivot over to my post if that's what the group wants to do. Going once,
just quickly.
Going twice.
Just like just quickly mention it.
Sounds good. So I just attended the Gov Guild call on Friday, which, by the way, like I would show up to more Greenpill calls if I was aware of them, but I'm gonna figure out how that I get all of them on my calendar. Anyway, I was at the Gov Guild call on Friday of last week, and we were kind of just like brainstorming what direction Greenpill is going, if any. And so what came out of that conversation was the idea of setting North Stars for the Greenpill network in 2025. Basically, I wrote this post in order to make that conversation more accessible to anyone who wasn't on that call. But basically, the idea was, how might we bring Greenpill network on chain in 2025? And then how might we establish revenue streams in 2025 that makes Greenpill more sustainable, so that we're not always just going around fishing for grants and for charitable donations. So basically, there's a bunch of details around considerations around each of these. And by the way, if you have your own ideas for like what the North Star should be, then please comment. Thank you, Matt, for providing your comments. Also, someone on Twitter said we should add a third star, building bridges between Web3 and regular impact communities. I actually think that that's an interesting idea as well. But yeah, basically bringing Greenpill network on chain I don't want to like fully launch like a DAO with like a governance token that's traded on Uniswap or anything. I'm just thinking we dip our toes into things like Cookie Jar, to things like Hats Protocol, to things like quadratic funding and Octant, which we're already sort of doing. And hopefully this routes resources around the network in a way that supports our mission and the movement that we're building. And then the second one is just establishing revenue streams so that, you know, we all have multiple demands on our attention. And I think that like shoring up revenue streams will be a great way of ensuring the longer term sustainability of Greenpill Network, especially when the next bear market rolls around. So, you know, we could be looking at consulting and services. You guys could basically become an extension of Gitcoin and Allo.capital, extending the work that we're doing there. We're already monetizing the podcast with pods.media/Greenpill. And you can see that you can collect each episode, and fees for that goes back to the Greenpill Treasury. And another thing we could do is I'm working on this AI agent project called InfiniteRegen.ai. I think it would be interesting to make the money from that go into the Greenpill network. So there's a bunch of ideas around revenue, but those are the ones that I put in my post. And I'm curious to hear what the network thinks. Like, we don't really have a governance process to ratify any specific North Stars. So, you know, I think it's kind of going to be like how Ethereum has rough social consensus. And so I'm curious to hear what people think of these two North Stars for 2025. And I also want to hear countervailing opinions. I am not the CEO of Greenpill. It's not my decision. It's a collective rough consensus decision of all of us. And I would especially appreciate if people don't feel like these are the North Stars that they want to pursue, if they feel comfortable either voicing that in private or voicing that on the hub. I think it's really important to have more voices elevated as leaders in Greenpill, and don't just follow what I said because like I've got the biggest Twitter following or something like that. So it's important to me that we feel that these are legitimate and ratify them from there. Anyway, TLDR, I propose bringing Greenpill Network on chain in 2025 and establishing revenue streams as two North Stars. Curious to hear what the group thinks.
Awesome.
It's awesome. Might cut you off, huh?
Oh, yeah.
One thing I got to edit my comment. I didn't realize that the pods.media numbers had picked up so drastically. Maybe those are just heater episodes, but that's pretty awesome to see.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I
think we make a couple dollars per episode right now. I can.
And then I do have another draft reply specifically in regards to that tweet that you shared. And personally, I think that's by far the biggest North Star at Greenpill operating as a connector and bridge builder. So yeah, I got to finish kind of gathering my thoughts, but I'll post a reply there. And just for a little bit of context, in terms of being aware of the meetings, let me just throw the Charmverse link in the chat again. But you have the network calendar, which is like an exportable calendar. And then also everything is usually put into the Discord events as well.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Cool. And just for the sake of it, because we got a few more things to get through, yeah, anybody have any thoughts, please just respond to that post on the hub. That's the best place to keep the discussion going. All right. Next up, we have another hub post to discuss from Earth2 from Greenpill India. He's going to go over a proposal for Greenpill D NFT collection. Really cool project. So yeah, I want to go for Earth2.
Hey guys, let me just share my screen. So just give me a second. Yeah, so this just to give you a little backdrop about the idea, this was something that we've been working on since 22, but I think never got all the pieces together to claim, how we could have evolving NFTs tied to real world actions. So I think finally we have put together some pieces. So I'll take you, I think I should take 5 to 10 minutes for going through this whole thing. What I'll do is that I'll talk about like what exactly the Greenpill NFT is. and what was our motivation and what was the origin story for this. And we'll end with like how we're going to implement this, how can we do it together. So in terms of what these NFTs are, pretty much they're dynamic NFTs. All of you know mutating NFTs. What we are specifically trying to do is to tether that to real world actions. And it also comes with evolving artwork, which kind of symbolically moves as you create more impact. It goes from red to orange to green. And finally, we're like all NFTs, there is some mimetic value to it, but apart from that, how can we give some more tangible value to all these NFTs? So we have figured out ways to have cash prices, access to region hacker houses, and obviously almost all NFTs need to have a PFP with it. So yeah, that, and hopefully down the line airdrops as well. So in terms of the mutation, like I said, like it's tied to people's real world actions that they bring on chain, and it's tracked and it evolves the artwork as we go. As you can see, these are like landscapes. So they look like regions that is in disarray initially. And as we start doing real world actions, symbolically, these landscapes kind of evolve. And so why are we doing this? I think it kind of is a good segue from what Kevin was speaking about. Like, how can we do more real world actions, but also like bring region Greenpill network on chain? So the idea was that like, hey, how can we pick 10 symbolic locations? These are all locations that we picked which have heavy crypto usage as well. But these are also places that where we can do a lot of region work. So the first 10 places that we picked were these regions. As you can see, hopefully all of you come from some of these places. And yeah, we paid a lot of attention in terms of like working on the artwork. We really spent a lot of time trying to understand different cultures and try to visually represent them. So you can see like actually everything that you see is kind of specific to that local region. And we were like so like, what do you say, adamant that no AI should be used for this. We were like, let's get these all hand drawn. So we had some artists who really worked on this. And I mean, like some tweets that really also motivated us, like even Kevin's this tweet about like, how can I fund, an entire bioregion with 1 or 2 clicks? So that's the idea. And how it works is pretty much people can mint NFTs. We're still figuring out the chains. We are contesting a joke race for that, because ever since we started, we have been like very adamant that we believe climate change and things like these are very chain agnostic, and we really need to bring everyone together and like participate in it. So we'll be trying to mint these NFTs on multiple chains. And what happens is once you mint these NFTs, you can load it on our apps. We have 3 apps that will be live by the time the campaign's on. Apart from this, we are also looking at like integrating with other impact apps. We have some conversation, I think Afro alluded to it, like a bunch of Dev Guild products as well. So we look at that. So once you load this impact NFT, you do a bunch of actions. So how those actions look is in each of the applications, they're different. And for example, in impact landscapes, you're pretty much like funding bounties. Whereas in impact foundry, you're creating bounties or validating impact claims. And in impact miner, you're pretty much doing these bounties and earning money. So we have curated in such a way that it's accessible to anyone who has time, skill, or money to participate in this entire NFT campaign. So we have like 3 different products for that. This is just like how we see these NFTs transform over time. And like you can see that like they go from a red state to an orange state and eventually into green. It's all tied to real world actions that we bring on chain. Apart from that, we have a bunch of other benefits for anyone who does the entire transformation and eventually has a green pill, right? So they naturally have one of these beautiful landscapes. Apart from that, we provide PFPs as well. And I don't know how many of you remember we did a Green Pill festival back 23. We are hoping that we can do it again soon. And all of you come for that. So yeah, so this is pretty much the idea that we have. And this is the rough roadmap that we have, because there were a lot of pieces that we were tying together. We were talking to chains to figure out like, hey, how would we do this? And a lot of chains showed interest. Then we were like, we don't know whom to pick now. Like, I think we spoke to over 30 chains. So we were like, we'll do a joke race and like figure out, like, vote for your favorite chain. If you really believe, your chain's the one that's making real world impact, come on, just vote for it. The top 5 we'll figure out and we'll integrate those. And I think that I'll also just quickly speak about, like, in terms of how we see this benefiting Greenpill as well. Apart from the natural noise that we can make with this, we also see that like a lot of these funds can go towards local chapters and for them to like also onboard new people in, because you have things to do, you have applications to interact with, and really get into this whole bringing Greenpill network on chain, right? And for chapters, I see this as like a direct way to get funding, because a lot of these bounties will be curated for these local chapters that we have. And hopefully that this also kind of reinvigorates the community. Like in Greenpill India, it's honestly just me and Rohit who's been like doing stuff right now. Like we want more people to like get involved, but we really don't have any like activities and stuff we want to do. So we hope that this is gonna like drive a lot of that. So in terms of like commitment from stewards, I would say it's like just a handful of hours for an entire month. Like you probably need to spend some time promoting it, and if you can like host an event where people are able to like really do some activities together and transform the pills together. Another one is curating bounties, because you're local champions, like what local problems are, and we can like curate bounties for that. And the last one's like just validating impact claims. If you feel like you have the expertise for it, I think we definitely need more people, because we are anticipating a lot of validation work to come because of this whole campaign. That's pretty much it. So over to you, Apple.
That's a great presentation. Thanks for that. And I actually want to like open it up for other people to give feedback, because I've given a lot of it already on the forum.
Sure.
But yeah, like I think it's a great idea, and I was about to mention something, but anybody else have any thing they want to answer this?
Could you just drop the joke race link in the chat?
I've not yet set up the contest.
Okay.
Next few days I will. I've been talking to David. I was like, hey, so I want to do like a chain contest, but which chain do I host the main contest, So he's been like, I think like base, I guess that's the only one. So
I guess one thing I'll just add is around this Greenpill Deep Denver initiative we're planning. I think it'd be great to be able to use to partake in this and use Impact Miner to like create bounties for the people we're looking to onboard and participate with in different volunteering events. So
I'm doing everything keeping in mind like no matter what Feb 1st, we are kind of like going live somehow. So hopefully by the time we are in ETH then already it's cooking a bit, and like another one is like probably just launch it in ETH then. I don't know if that's a good idea, because there's going to be a lot of noise anyways. So I mean, some suggestions would be good.
I think launching an ETH then could work out well potentially.
I'm guessing Kevin might have some thoughts on that, because he's launched a bunch of things at ETH Denver. But one of the pieces of feedback, I know we were talking one-on-one in DMs about this project, and I think the biggest concern I have is just the 1 year long time horizon. I just think attention spans in general are like 30 seconds. And so I think trying to keep people's attention and playing the game for a year is a very ambitious endeavor. And so I think looking at how it can be broke up into some shorter sprints, some shorter games to keep people engaged throughout is going to be really important.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And I think the point is that like you can get a red pill and transform it with just one single transaction. So you transform your pill, but collectively we are visualizing like each landscape having at least 400 green pills transformed, and then the entire pill visually changes as well for the whole landscape. So individuals get their reward, but at the end of the year, we were like, whoever is on top of the leaderboard, we drop them some additional rewards. So that was the thinking. But like, we are still trying to the fine tuning of what you exactly said, like how do you keep it engaging throughout? Yeah, that's something that is still figuring it out. Or hopefully, I think this tactic will work. Like anyone can just mint a pill. They can either use Landscape and just fund for $250 odd and transform the pill in one transaction, or they can go to Impact Miner and do like roughly 20 bounties, but they'll regularly be getting paid for it. So if they do like 3 bounties, the pill transforms to orange, but they also get some money and they continue in the journey.
One thing that could potentially help with the long time horizon is friendly competition. So I think maybe, I don't know like how to be done, but like I think that does encourage people like, to like, kind of
Wait, can I just share my screen for another 2 minutes? I'll just show you how exactly like we have kind of like worked on something similar to that.
Cool.
So this is the third.
Oh, I was going to say, while you're getting that up, a real quick thought, just in the thought of competition, having the different chapters competing against each other on some challenges might be interesting gamification, at least within the Greenpill network.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm just gonna so what you're looking at essentially is the prototype of this third application called Impact Landscape, where most of the funding comes through, like after you asking me. And the idea is that like, you can click on one of this and then you can see and like mint a new NFT or like an existing one. And we also kind of like give a leaderboard, which kind of has on which chain you kind of, because we end up picking 5 chains, right? So like we can have like, hey, which chain did number 1 deploy most of their funds through? So that's one thing that we have already thought of. Apart from this, I'll probably show another interesting thing is you can really like get into the specifics if you want. Like you can either instantly fund, or you can like really choose a cause you really care for. Choose one of the cores. You can choose one of the activities, right? And if you're like really want to get deep into the weeds, you can also choose the exact bounties that you want to fund. So, like for people who are like just, hey, I just want to fund, get out of the way. The other one's like, hey, I'm very curious. I really want to go into the weeds of it. So both of it will be possible through this. Yeah. So yeah, this was just what I just wanted to show.
Yeah, I think it'd be great to have maybe a conversation outside this call, like just about this and focus on helping. Yeah, I think that'd be great. Anybody else have any thoughts? We're gonna move to our last activity.
Yeah, and definitely feel free to comment in that help post as well.
Yeah. Cool. So
can I get some of that art so I can make stickers? That's all.
I said again, I didn't hear you.
I said, can I get some of that art so I can make stickers? Thank you.
Oh yeah, sticker movement.
I'll get you some of those stickers. I think few of you got it. I know for sure Kevin got some of those stickers.
Nice. Cool. All right, so it looks like we have about 12 minutes.
Before we hop into that, just a quick note: the POAP mint is live for the next 45 minutes. The secret word is Greenpill-2025. It's in the chat too, just in case you having an issue or you misheard me. But it's via the mobile app, the secret word mint. So you can also hit me up if you have any issues.
Thanks for that, Matt. Yeah, I totally forgot. Cool. Yeah, it worked for me. So it's working. Cool. Yeah. So last thing is a gardens. Yeah, kind of continuing our gardens experiment from the last call. We've now created a GovCo garden on Optimism, and just using signaling pools. There's no funding tied to anything. But we have 2 pools that we had ideated. Well, we had ideated 3 pools, almost like an Octa and Epoch participation pool, but just migrated over 2 because the current Epoch's already happening, so it's not as relevant. But we have 2. One is network funding, which ties into what Kevin was just talking about earlier, and around the North Stars, or around starting revenue for the network. So that any proposals people have for different funding mechanisms for the network, this is a pool to propose them. So you can see there's one kind of mock proposal here to look at, where you can see like pro-retro progressive model for event funding. So it could be, oh, okay, I like this. We haven't activated governing yet, so we won't be able to vote, but this is open for proposals. Matt, did you drop the link already, I assume?
Yep, it's in the chat.
Cool. So so in order to join the community section, let me see. I'm gonna leave and join to see if that could illustrate the walkthrough. And I know for the sake of time, because then with Gardens, you'll have to join the community. So you'll have to. So when you first come to the page, it'll look like this for you, and you'll want to first register. And then let's see, okay. And it's 0.007, so I think that's how much an LP? That's like a few cents, or maybe even less. So I'm currently joining. Cool. So looks like that was done. I'll refresh. Let's see if I'm in the community. And it's Paul. We have Paul here from Gardens. So okay, cool. So yeah, so now you're in the community. What's up, Paul? Yeah. And we also, so I actually want to highlight this poll in particular. So we have a poll for ISI initiatives. So this is for ideas to continue ISI's legacy and scaling the projects that he was working on, and there's different ideas to help keep the impact he was creating going. So yeah, here, for example, here's another test proposal, but would be documentary capturing the impact of these projects, for example. So if you were, if you like this proposal, you'd be able to support it. But yeah, any questions? I think, I know not everybody might not be at the computer to do this, but just want to walk through this because over the next few days, we'd love to get some proposals in. And then during our GovGuild call and other, calls coming up, we could start to take a look and vote on them.
Love this, and I just dropped into the Telegram we had started, but I think we have about 1,000 in the shared multi-sig that hasn't been distributed to the family, and I think it could probably be put into some of this work. But appreciate you working on it and carrying on my good man's legacy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think this is a great shelling point for us to start to find different synergy points for different proposals. Anybody else have any anything like to share, questions on Gardens? Paul's here. He can ask any questions.
Yeah, I just want to say that this is the nicest garden setup of anyone outside of our Gardens team specifically. This is well done.
Thank you.
But yeah, anyone's free to message me or our Gardens Discord if you're using this and need help navigating, or we also have docs too, which I'll post a link for that here too.
Yeah, and just to highlight, because in our last call we did a workshop where, because we know it'd be hard for people to go through the whole sign-up process, especially if they were mobile. So we did a mirror workshop where we just wrote down these proposals in cards. So there's already a bunch of proposals to ingress. I think the key thing is just want the people that wrote down these proposals. So if you were on that call last month and you remember, oh, I wrote this one, I had this idea for a proposal. Would love for you to propose that now on the Gardens pool, so that we could start using conviction voting to see how people feel. So yeah, just all the proposals are already here, or a lot of them. And if you have any new ones, feel free to add. So let me drop this link as well. And yeah, unless there's any other questions on the gardens, I think it's just more of an async exercise. Just wanted to walk through what it looks like and give a sense that it's available now and you can start creating proposals. But yeah, if there's no more questions, I'll pass it over to Matt to close things off.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, so I'm just going to run through some quick closing points, and then we can get into maybe a broader disaster relief conversation. So one, just another reminder about the Greenpill community survey through a link in the chat. And then also, if anybody hasn't joined any of these platforms, Charmverse, Hub, Discord, Telegram, if you're in the Discord, definitely take some time, look at the pods. We're still trying to gain a little bit of momentum there, and there's other pods that people have discussed opening up at some point. But yeah, definitely take a look there. Right now it's DPIN, DSci, Education, and Environment. And then also come to the open guild calls if you're available. I mentioned it earlier. There's a importable Google Calendar that's linked on the Charmverse homepage, and those events are also listed in the Discord events section. So Dev Guild Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Gov Guild 2 p.m. Friday, and then tomorrow is a one-off Writers Guild call. You can find the Google Meet link in the Writers chat, and then we're also going to figure out a regularly scheduled call for the Writers Guild there. Another reminder, the POAP is live for 30 more minutes. Mobile app, secret word mint is Greenpill-2025. Looks like a bunch of people have successfully minted that, so looks like I think this might be the first time we haven't had a minor hiccup there, so we're making progress. I love it. Quick note, check out Kevin's How to DAO book if you haven't already. Also check out Allo.capital, join that Telegram group. If anybody out there is building on Allo, definitely get in touch. There's been there's that Allo chat, but there's also another chat with like the Dev Guild and some other projects from that Allo Builders Advancement round, trying to kind of piece together how we want to approach that and contribute. And then also the USD Glow Bitcoin round is live, but applications are still open for a while. And yeah, I mean, a lot of basically all the funds from the Regen Coordination rounds last year were in USD Glow. So there's very likely a bunch of chapters that would be eligible for this. So yeah, definitely don't be shy to apply there. And I think that's all I got on my list. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming. Things are moving in the right direction. It's exciting stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, great closer. Actually, I have still some time left. So yeah, if anybody wants to, has any closing thoughts or things they'd like to share, any like updates, you want to go through real quickly before we formally end the recording, feel free.
Yeah, I'll go in. Daniel here. So we just launched a new version of the book Regenaissance, The Call to Heal. It's a book that offers tangible and robust, pragmatic and realistic solutions to the polycrisis. And I spoke with Matt. We're looking to get it on the Greenpill network. But I want to share a free copy with all of you. It's a new paradigm shift from like owning land as a speculative commodity to stewarding land. We've seen it around the world. There's about 550 plus community land trusts around the world, and they're doing amazing, regenerative work, even in cities like New York, Brussels. So what a CLT is, for those who never heard of it, is basically a not-for-profit company. The land is being put in the not-for-profits scope under its constitution, and then people can own the house on it, but not the land. Participatory governance, community basic incomes and services, innovation hubs, and a few other things, inspiring from the Israeli Yozma program and from the Scottish Right to Buy are within. So yeah, I'm excited to share this with you all, and I'll share a few links as well. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, I'm looking forward to exploring more. I see you shared a link earlier, and if you could drop that again, that'd be awesome. Cool. Got one hand raised. Go for it, Alex.
Hey everyone, hey Info, hey Matt. This is Alex Wick of Cascadia Carbon based in Portland, Oregon. I just want to provide an update. We got some community sponsorship funding here in Portland for our summer solstice event. And we're also applying for an NSF NASA SBIR award to launch our Moon Tree project. You can check more out at cascadiacodex.substack.com.
Yeah, anybody else got it?
And if not, yeah, so
Yeah, no, we got some people, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, this is Shifu from Greenpill Design Pop-Up. So right now we have active sub-channels in Discord, which is relating about every update or news related about decentralized science. Of course, we mainly would like to focus on the infrastructures, the news, education, and hope we're not focusing on the pricing or the meme coin at this moment, but hope likely if there is any active chapter looking for the design development, and feel free to share your news and seek for collaboration or ideas, and great places to share your updates or news over there. Thanks.
Thanks, Swift.
And one last word is that recently I have the conversation with Arvo and Matt to thinking about any further ideas on collaborate with the GeekCon design community around over there. But of course, there are a lot of things we need to discuss first. But here's the general idea at this moment. But a lot of things we need to discuss.
Cool. Yeah. I'm just gonna formally end the call now. So yeah, I just want to first thanks everybody for joining. This first call of the year. Really, yeah, I feel like great momentum. We got 36. I think there at one point there 40 people on the call, so it's really great. And just excited for everybody taking the time to join us and kick things off. And there's gonna be more discussions. Join the other calls coming up. And look forward to seeing everybody in future discussions. And let's grow, baby.